How exactly are you going to get a job in cloud computing in the year 2025? Now recently, me and my team, we were taking some interviews for multiple cloud job roles, and to my surprise, I realized that multiple people, so many candidates, the skill set they mentioned, the experience they mentioned, the certificates they did, they were actually not matching with the job profile they applied for. And this is a big problem both for the candidates and for the interviewers, and probably the reason why you're not getting the job in cloud computing. Hello and welcome back to the Tech BlackBoard. So the biggest problem with the cloud computing jobs is that people don't know how many different types of cloud job profiles exist in the market, and secondly, how to prepare for them. So in this video, let's take a deep dive and understand what are the different job profiles in the cloud computing, the steps and the preparations you need to get those jobs, and how the cloud computing can transform your career in the year 2025. And friends, you know what? That's the beauty of cloud computing. You want to do DevOps? You can do that in cloud computing. Or maybe you love data. You can do the data engineering in cloud computing. Or let's say that you love artificial intelligence or machine learning. That also you can do in cloud computing. There are loads of cloud computing servers to enable you in artificial intelligence, generative AI, machine learning, LLMs and whatnot. And the best part is, even if you're not technical, even if you're not from a programming background, then also there are multiple job roles in cloud computing, and of course we will take all those job roles in this video. So in this video, my friends, I'm going to showcase 22 top job profiles in cloud computing, and also I will tell you what are the preparations you need to do, certifications. So here I have taken certifications from all the top cloud providers. So it doesn't matter whether you're coming from the Azure, AWS or GCP. And not just that, I've also included additional certification wherever possible. Then I will also tell you what are the salary expectation, or do you need programming for each of these job roles or not. So all in all, I will compare all these 22 job profiles on 12 critical parameters that will give you all the information you need to get started. So first of all, I would like to start with 3 top job profiles that are most confusing for many of the people, and they are cloud data engineer, cloud data scientist and cloud data analyst. So all of those who love their data, these job profiles are for you. People really get confused. They keep on cross applying for these job profiles, and that is the reason probably they do not get the right job. So let's first understand what is the job description of each of these job roles. So starting with the cloud data engineer, these guys helps in design and manage the data infrastructure in the cloud, and they also help in building the ETL processes, managing the data storage, optimizing the data workflows. Now coming to the cloud data analyst. So these data analysts, of course, they analyze the data. So primarily they collect the data, they process the data, perform statistical analysis on the data, and then they help the businesses to make the informed decisions. Of course, they focus on the data cleansing, data exploration, data visualization and data reporting. And then we have cloud data scientists. So what do these guys do? Well, the cloud data scientists use the advanced analytics technologies, including machine learning and predictive modeling, to analyze the data and extract insights. So these are the job role description for all these top job roles. Now let's see what exactly they do, these all 3 job roles. What are their daily activities? So starting once again with the cloud data engineer. So these guys, they collect, process and transform data for analysis. Now coming to the data analyst, these guys on a daily basis, they analyze the data to provide the actionable insights and support the decision making processes. And of course, as I said, they are involved in collecting the data, cleansing the data, performing statistical analysis, creating visualization, reporting and findings. Now coming to the cloud data scientist, now this role on a day-to-day basis, they really focuses on the data mining, model building, data visualization and also presenting the findings that they have gathered during this process. And these guys, they actually use the advanced analytical techniques to interpret the complex data and develop predictive models. And additionally, they are also involved in data mining, develop machine learning models, and also conducting statistical analysis and presenting the insights. And now that you have understood the role descriptions and the daily activities that these 3 job profiles do, now let's talk about whether these job profiles they really need programming, and what are the preparations and certifications that you would need, and also talk about the salary expectations. So here, starting with the cloud data engineer, do you need programming? Yes, you would need strong programming skills like Python, SQL or PySpark. Now coming to the data analyst, rather than the strong programming skill, you would actually need strong analytical skill along with the SQL knowledge. Now coming to the cloud data scientist, of course you need strong programming skills here. You would need to know Python, R, ML libraries. So these are the few areas that you can focus on. And let me very quickly also tell you what are the different stakeholders that these profiles interact with. So the cloud data engineer, my friends, they interact with data scientists, IT teams, business analysts and data analysts. Then talking about the data analyst, these guys interact with the business analysts, IT teams and also a little bit with the management. Then we have the data scientists. These guys of course interact with the business stakeholders, data engineers and IT team. Now talking about the preparations and the study that you need to do for these job roles. And yes, let me tell you one thing. This Excel file is free of cost. You can download it. The link is given in the description box. So starting with the cloud data engineer, here you need to focus on bachelor's data science, data engineering skills. You also need to focus on cloud data services, and maybe you can do some data engineering course, big data certification, or maybe focus on SQL skills, data modeling, big data, for example Hadoop or Spark or other cloud data services. Now coming to the cloud data analyst, now here you would need to focus on bachelor's in maybe data science or related fields, statistical analysis or data visualization, statistics, or understand the tools, in fact the conventional tools, for example Microsoft Excel. Well, large part of the industry still uses Microsoft Excel, and along with that also try to focus on SQL and Python. Then you actually need to focus on visualization tools. You can focus on SAS, R, Python, Tableau or Power BI. Then talking about the data scientist, well, for this one you have to prepare masters in the data science or related field, machine learning, statistical analysis and also statistical modeling. Language wise, focus on Python and R, and also learn the machine learning frameworks and big data tools. Now let's talk about what are the certifications that you can do for each of these roles. Starting with the Azure certification. Well, for the cloud data engineer, you can focus on Azure Data Engineer Associate, which is DP203. And in case you're coming from the AWS world, then you can focus on AWS Certified Data Analytics specialty, and you can also do the AWS Certified Big Data specialty. Talking about the GCP, well, here you can do the Professional Data Engineer. And then talking about the Data Analyst, in the Azure, you can do the Azure BI Data Analyst Associate, which is PL300. Then also you can consider the Azure Data Scientist Associate, which is DP100. From the AWS, you can consider doing AWS Certified Data Analytics Specialty, and then the Google has Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate. Now as a data scientist, you can consider doing Azure Data Scientist Associate DP100. Then we have AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty in Google Professional Data Engineer. Talking about the experience level, well, for all of these roles, you would need an experience level of 3 to 5 years. And talking about the salary range, well, for all of these job roles, you can say the salary range will be between 95,000 USD till 150 or 160 K USD per annum. So that would be the salary range, and for the exact salary range and experience you can refer the Excel file. I can also tell you what is the level of these job roles. So level wise, I would say the data engineer is from the associate to expert level. Then we have data analyst. These are from the beginner to associate level. Of course you can graduate towards expert as well. Talking about the cloud data scientist, well, this role is from associate to expert level. All of that information is given in the Excel file. And yes, in the upcoming videos, I'm going to take a deep dives on multiple job profiles that we are talking in this video. And now, my friends, let's switch our gears from the data to artificial intelligence world. So here I want to talk about really important roles, but of course once again confusing for many of you. And these roles are cloud AI and ML engineer or consultant. Then we have cloud generative AI engineer or specialist, and then I will talk about the cloud AI architect. And now that we are talking about multiple job roles in cloud computing, please do check out the latest courses from Audacity. who are the sponsors of this video. And here in Udacity, you will find courses for the job roles like data analyst, data scientist, AI product manager, artificial intelligence, machine learning, or maybe you just want to learn a programming language, no matter if you are a beginner or at intermediate or expert level. These courses will give you a solid foundation in the year 2025 in a fraction of cost, and also their hands-on projects are modeled after the real world scenarios, and this will really boost your critical thinking. And you can also check out their free courses, and currently they're running huge discount on all of the courses. And yes, Udacity courses have earned a very high ranking on multiple platforms like Facebook, Course Report, SwitchUp, and Trustpilot. And I have given a link in the description box. Please check out the courses from Udacity and take your career to the next level. So let's start with the cloud AI or ML engineer or slash consultant. So for this role, my friends, of course, this role is from associate to expert level. Now talking about the role description, well, here you have to be in the designs and implementation of AI and ML solution on the cloud platform. And also you need to be included in the natural language processing, computer vision, or generative AI. Coming to the job role of the cloud generative AI engineer or specialist, here you have to focus on building the solution using the generative AI models like GPT, DALL-E, or Stable Diffusion. Then we have the AI architect. Now here you have to design and oversee the cloud solution based on the AI and ML models. You have to create the blueprints and ensure their implementation. Now let's very quickly check out what are the daily activities that each of these job profile does. So the person who is at the cloud AI or ML engineer, he actually needs to be involved in building, training, and deploy the ML model, optimize the AI pipelines. He also needs to maintain the ML infrastructure, design and implement ML solution for the customers based on the use cases. You also need to leverage the core products like TensorFlow, Dataflow, Vertex AI, and then identify the opportunities to apply the machine learning into the business, and also deploy the solution and deliver the workshops. And as a cloud generative AI engineer, you have to fine-tune the generative models, work on the content generation system, and also experiment with the data set. Now the cloud AI architect, on the other hand, he needs to design the end-to-end AI or ML cloud solution. He also needs to be involved and take the correct decision to choose the appropriate AI services and the components, and also create the architecture diagram for the AI system. And of course, for all these job roles, you need strong programming skills. So here you have to learn the Python, R, ML libraries. You also need to learn the TensorFlow. And as an AI and ML engineer, along with the Python, R, or ML libraries, you also need to focus on AI algorithms, deep learning frameworks like TensorFlow or PyTorch. And then as a cloud generative AI engineer, you really need to focus on strong programming languages such as Python, R, ML, and also focus on AI algorithms, deep learning frameworks, TensorFlow, PyTorch once again. Well, as a cloud AI ML engineer, you really need to interact with the data scientists, product teams, and DevOps. Coming to the generative AI engineer, here you need to interact with the AI engineers, data scientists, and product manager. And coming to the architect level, well, as an AI architect, you have to deal with the C-level executives, project managers, and AI/ML engineers. Then I will directly jump to the certification part. You can read the preparations and the study in the Excel file, freely downloadable. You can do the Azure AI Engineer Associate, which is AI 102. From AWS, you can do the AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty. And from the Google, you can do the Google Professional Machine Learning Engineer. And coming to the cloud generative AI engineer, here you can do from Azure, you can do Azure OpenAI Services training. And here I can tell you some additional certification from NVIDIA and Databricks. I created a wonderful video on the free certification from both of them. Please check them out. But I can tell you from NVIDIA, you can do the generative AI certification free of cost as well and paid as well. Then we have Databricks Generative AI Learning Path. So you can find all the details in these videos. Please check them out. And then coming to the Cloud AI Architect. Well, as an architect in Azure, you can do the Azure Solutions Architect Expert. Then from AWS, you can do the AWS Certified Solution Professional Architect level. And then in the Google, we have Google Cloud Professional Architect level certification. And as per my analysis, my friends, except for the Cloud AI Architect, which is the expert level certification or the job role, the other two ones, the Cloud AI and ML Engineer or / consultant and the Cloud Generative AI Engineer, or specialist, they are more from the associate to expert level. Now let's talk about very quickly about the experience level that you need. So for all these job roles except for the architect level, for the other two job roles you would need 3 to 5 years of experience, but for the article you would rather need 8 to 10 years of experience. Talking about the salaries, well, for these roles, I would say the salaries could start from 125k USD, and they can reach, as an architect, they can actually reach until you can say 225k or maybe 30k USD per or annual salary package. So that is the salary range. So now that we have covered the top job roles for the people who love the data and for the people who love the artificial intelligence or machine learning, now it's time to talk about some other job roles that are really relevant, that are really top notch, and you can make a best career out of them. So here I would like to talk about the job roles such as cloud engineer, cloud architect, cloud administrator, and cloud consultant. And to start with, cloud engineer is the associate level certification, cloud architect is expert level, cloud administrator is associate level, and cloud consultant is also associate level. Talking about the roles and responsibilities, well, the cloud engineer is involved in designing, implementation, and managing the cloud infrastructure. So these guys are into the deployment of the application. They monitor the performance of the application and also troubleshoot the issues. And now talking about the cloud architect, well, these guys are involved in designing and overseeing the cloud computing strategies and also to ensure the scalability and security. And not only that, they're also involved into optimizing cost and also advising the stakeholders. And as a cloud architect, you really need to focus on the overall design, strategy, big picture planning for the cloud solutions and also aligning them with the business objective. Coming to the cloud administrator, well, these guys manages and maintains the cloud infrastructure, configures and secures the cloud resources and also perform routine maintenance tasks. On the other hand, the cloud consultant, they provide the consulting services to the client, accesses the cloud needs, design the solution and also implement the strategies. And on the daily basis, the cloud engineers, they are involved into the implementation, configuration and maintenance of the cloud environment. They are also into the deployment application, ensure the system performance, troubleshoot the technical issues and maintain the day-to-day cloud operations. Talking about the cloud architect, well, these guys, of course, as the name suggests, they are architect. So they are more into designing the comprehensive cloud strategies and also create the detailed cloud architects, the blueprints and also oversee the cloud implementation, the entire picture, the landscape. So that is their primary role. Then cloud administrator. Well, cloud administrator, they are involved into the cloud management, system administration, monitoring the user access management, IAM and stuff like that, taking backups, recovery, cloud management consoles. So you really need to understand the Azure portal, AWS management console or Google cloud console. And then the monitoring tools related to these, for example, NAGIOS, the CloudWatch or IT service management or ITSM tools. So that is, as a cloud administrator, you would need to focus on. Then the cloud consultant, my friends, these guys are majorly into meeting the clients, assessing the needs and recommending the solution and also delivering the presentation about overall solution. Now let's understand very important part. Do you need programming for these job roles? Well, talking about the cloud engineer, well, even if you know the basics of Python and Bash, that should be adequate. Cloud architect, well, yes, of course, you need to really understand the cloud platforms and also the architect, very important for you. And of course, the good programming skills, they really help. So in case you want to learn them, please focus on languages, skills like Python and Bash. As a cloud administrator, well, you don't need to really get into the programming, but of course, little bit of programming will not harm you. Cloud consultant, well, here you don't need to have programming skills because you are more into people management, presenting the solution and these kind of activities. Now, stakeholder wise, the cloud engineer, they really need to interact with the IT teams, program managers, clients, developers, DevOps teams, engineers. And on the other hand, the cloud architect, because they are more into the architecture, then they have to talk with the executives, IT teams, CTOs of the company, depending upon the size of the company, project managers, engineers, DevOps engineers, security. So overall solution. That's why multiple job roles. Then cloud administrator, they really need to interact with the IT support team, cloud engineers, and as a cloud consultant, you need to interact with the clients, project managers, architects, sometimes because you have to present the solution, and the cloud engineers. So that is what the cloud consultant will do. You can check out the preparations and the studies that you need to do for all these 4 job roles. I will talk about the certification now. So here, as a cloud engineer from the Azure, you can do the Azure Administrator Associate, which is AZ104. And you can also focus on Azure Solution Architect, which is AZ305. From the AWS part, you can consider doing the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, which is the starting point. Then move on, graduate towards the AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate level or AWS Certified SysOps Administrator. In the Google or GCP world, here you can focus on Google Cloud Certified Professional Cloud Architect. Coming to the Cloud Architect part, here from the Azure, you can do the Azure Solution Architect AZ305. From the AWS Certified Solution Architect. Then from the Google, you can also do the Professional Cloud Architect. Then I can talk about quickly about the Cloud Administrator. In the Azure, once again, you have AZ104 and AZ305. From the AWS, you can do the Certified SysOps Administrator, and from the Google, you can do the Associate Cloud Engineer or Google Cloud Certified Professional Cloud DevOps Engineer. And yes, there is one more very good certification that you can consider as a cloud administrator. You can consider the CompTIA or CompTIA Cloud Plus. That is also a very good certification for these kind of roles. Experience wise, you need to have 3 to 5 years or maybe in some case 8 to 10 years of experience, maybe if you are going for the architect level. And salary expectation, well, it could start from $80,000 and can reach up to 125k USD per annum. So until now, my friends, we have talked about 10 job roles, 10 very important job roles in the cloud computing world. We have touched upon the data roles, which were the cloud data engineer, cloud data analyst, cloud data scientist. Then we talked about the machine learning, artificial intelligence, and we talked about the roles like cloud AI and ML engineer / consultant. We also talked about the cloud generative AI engineer or specialist, cloud AI architect, and then finally we talked about the roles like cloud engineer, cloud architect, cloud administrator, and cloud consultant. All of these 10 job roles are super important. But is that all? No. We have 12 more job roles and the video is getting long. So I will cover those job roles in the next video. So that's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.